You're listening to Common Sense and Beer, where we talk about the heavy-hitting topics with a beer in hand. I'm one of your hosts, Zach, and my other host here,
Kyle.
And what are we going to be talking about today, Kyle?
Well, I don't really know. I mean, there's a whole lot of bullshit that's happening.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, so we'll just kind of figure it out as we go.
So I think mostly, we're going to hit up Easter's coming up, so that's a good news topic to always come back to. We'll try to come back to the good news. But there's a lot of bad news that happened. We had Russia terrorist attack.
You're just gonna ignore your guest?
Yes.
Bad news, huh?
Russia
terrorist attack is bad news.
Yeah.
If ISIS wins, we win.
I don't know about all that.
We're flying their flag right here, brother.
Buddy. You're so proud of that.
Look, there's too many audio listeners. They don't know it's there. I got to tell them.
Okay.
For anyone wondering who that extra voice is, that is this is like the third or fourth time you've been on, right? So yeah,
I didn't know what he was going to say.
No, you're
I was
our most frequent guest.
Our favorite resident ladyboy. No,
I was just,
Interesting, you brought back the mustache.
Yeah, I was just respecting the wishes of our guests. And you just wanted to, peep in.
Yeah,
and
I have no rights.
No rights here.
We're communists.
No extra rights.
We're communists.
Everybody's equal.
Everything here is state owned.
Yes, everything's equal except for since I'm the co-host. I am above you.
I know, right? Whenever Joey's like, I'm your host, Joey, and I'm joined by my co-host, I'm like, oh, I just thought we were hosts.
See, here's you.
Yeah, that is true.
Joe.
That's the power dynamic.
That is true.
Yeah.
We're going to have to change that from now on. I'm your host, Zach.
I think we
and then
switch it up.
Yeah, well,
Usually.
I mean,
We're pretty fair.
yeah, we're pretty fair, but
You guys got to get like a 50-50 custody battle on who gets to introduce themselves as the host.
no.
Zach's like, no, I'm the host.
Yeah, man. Right? And here I am just like, I really just don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I could care less.
I highly doubt anyone's upset that we say one thing over another. I mean, if they do, I guess they'll let us know.
Nah, nobody's upset about it.
I don't think that's something to get upset about.
I don't even think I introduced myself as a host or co-host. I'm just like, yeah, I'm Colton.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
And I'm here too.
Yeah.
So
Joey owns this house and everything that we're recording on, so I guess I'm just here.
Yeah.
You missed the whole power dynamics question we had there. Who's host and who's co-host? I'm like, well, I don't own any of this stuff, so I guess I'm just Colton when I introduce myself.
It's our little committee here,
There you go.
Are you our chairman? I guess he's our chairman.
Chairman Joe.
Well,
Chairman Joe.
You don't have
He's
any say,
Asian.
so.
And all the communists right now are mostly Asian.
Joe Golf.
The successful ones.
Joe?
Oh, shit. It works too perfectly.
So, all right, well.
So, all right, hold on. All right, so the Russian terrorist attack. So, all right, the reason why I think it's a bad thing is because, any sort of violence on civilians. And I'm super anti this conflict in the first place.
And it's a lot, by the way. I don't know if you saw the body count. I originally heard 40.
That's what I heard
and I was
as
like,
it was
man,
happening.
that's bad. And then we went and looked it up today, and it was upwards of 130. And I was like, actually
pretty
killed.
bad.
And I was like, wow, that's way worse.
Oh, here we go.
Is that,
That's our little.
so is that the ISIS theme song? Is that,
Yes.
that basically what that is?
If you watched any videos on YouTube or, well, probably Live Leak, actually, early on in ISIS when they were doing their, burning people in cages and tying debt cord around their necks and rolling them all up at the same time.
I may or may not be, while you guys are talking about Moscow, I might just.
It's their jam. I understand.
It's their jam.
Yo, I don't know. What is it about bad guys having absolute bangers for like theme music?
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Yeah.
And that one, like the words are pretty epic, but like the whole theme, and we pulled up, because we're talking about this, but like the Chinese one too.
Oh yeah.
And they're like they're really gay. Like they have that very queer, very gay, like da 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 da, and you're like all happy with a big old smile on your face.
Oh, gay isn't
rocking
happy.
back and
Yeah.
forth,
Not
hands up and
homophobic.
down.
Not homophobic gay, but like happy gay.
Oh, I ain't afraid of gays.
I'm not afraid of them.
Not
Yeah.
afraid of those queer homosexuals.
Yeah. So
All seriousness from this video just left the chat.
it sure is gone. It is gone.
Oh man.
But
Oh boy.
yeah, I mean that's a lot of people. they always have this problem though. Like every time there's like a crazy terrorist attack in like Russia, it's like hundreds, like a whole school building gets like just leveled by,
which is wild. Do you ever watch their like SWAT teams like videos of them like
dude, those guys
swinging their explosive sledgehammer at the side of a bus to breach it? You seen that one?
Dude.
And he just runs up to a bus like, this simulates a bus full of hostages and us breaching it. I'm like, so you swing a block of C4 at it to breach it open? If they die, they die.
Results are very successful. We breach bus 100% of time.
You're pretty good at that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I had so during Trump's presidency, there was some guys that I knew, Marines that were deployed in like Finland or Norway, which was like the first time we had done that since World War II. Mm-hmm. So it was a big deal. So the part of the whole spiel was the Russians, like it was almost like a show of force happened because it was kind of like we're here on a mission, but it's whatever. So they're like doing all these crazy things, and my buddy's like, yeah, dude, what they chose to show us, like, I don't want to go to war with Russia anytime soon because holy shit.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they also probably pulled out some, they probably wanted to be as intimidating as possible.
I've heard soft guys say the same thing, like watching them, like they'll do like shooting drills that are like, we don't do that because it's unsafe.
Right.
And we might kill each other.
Yeah.
And they don't care.
It's part of their life. Like, it's part of the risk they're just willing to take.
I die.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, dude, you're just training. So.
Right? Like in hindsight, a lot of the live fire training we do is very dangerous, but they take it like a step further. Like they'll be like, oh yeah, our mortars are going to shoot onto the trench while we're breaching it. And they're just going to shoot on the other side of the trench. Like we don't do that. The risk level is just a little too high to get that cleared through our risk management.
I feel like almost everybody, well, not almost everybody, but a lot of people have those close call stories though of military, like where you're at the range or you're out at some place that's like designated a range spot, and it's like they didn't know you're out there, so it's like, please move.
All of a sudden,
soon.
All of a sudden, you're just like, hey, you're like sitting in like a little gully for your bivouac site, and all of a sudden you just say like, is that artillery overhead? Starts impacting on the other side of like, oh, we're in the impact area right now.
Well, there's a video out there that was actually pretty popular. It was have you seen the single shot Freddy meme?
Single shot. Oh, the army one. They're taking sniper fire.
Yeah,
in
they're
Afghanistan.
taking. Dude, Joey, if you can find that one, it's only like a 7-second clip, but it's so funny. Dude, just talking about some dude that has them pinned down, and he's missing every shot.
It comes up immediately.
Single shot, Freddy. Yeah.
That shit was close, dude. Hunter, what's going on right now?
I know this is the golden age of the army because they're wearing the.
Who's that? I have a feeling he's a blind Afghan man somewhere between the ages of 60 and 75 years old. And he likes to scare the shit out of us with these single shots that he takes. We've been getting real close, so we're all hiding right now. How come you think he's blind? Well, because he hasn't hit anything yet.
I was a young-looking sergeant, but then I realized it's probably what I looked like as a sergeant too.
Right.
Just baby-faced and bushy-tailed.
It's exactly what you fucking looked like.
Exactly. I remember, dude, when we were in like formation. It was like 2010, and one of the NCOs goes, "Where were you guys in 2006?" And one of the fucking privates in front of me goes, "I was fucking 16 years old." Give my driver's license. Like,
that always cracks me up when they're just like, fucking war dodgers. I'm 18, dude.
Yeah, right? Like,
I got here as soon as I could.
I rushed, man.
That's funny.
Oh, so fun.
So I guess enlighten me a little bit. So apparently it was ISIS. Has it been confirmed that it was actually ISIS that did it?
No, other than them claiming responsibility.
They claimed responsibility. Okay. First thing though, before they claimed responsibility, Washington did disclaim and also said that Ukraine was not responsible for it.
Washington
came out at on Ukraine's behest and was like, "It's not Ukraine, not us either."
That's kind of sus.
Really sus.
Very no
like,
Russian.
While the attack was happening,
Modern Warfare 2, no Russian vibes.
Oh yeah.
Well,
it wasn't us. Nobody
man.
thought it was you. Well, I'm just saying it wasn't.
Yeah.
But they did put out that advisory beforehand on the 9th of March.
What
is happening?
It's a Ukrainian war song.
Is it really?
That's what it says.
This sounds like Ukrainian Pitbull.
No wonder they're fucking losing.
Worldwide.
Yo, this is way too happy for what's actually going on over there.
Now show Bachman.
No, we're getting rich.
No. Now show Bachman.
American taxpayer money feels so good.
Yeah,
I said, now show us what Bakhmut looks like right now.
yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that would have made that realistic if the guy was like a skeleton doing the song.
Well, it's kind of cracks me up because they're like, Ukraine's kicking Russia's ass, man. I'm like, no one's kicking anyone's ass, and everyone's kicking each other's ass.
Yeah.
Is bad.
Yeah.
Russia took what they wanted to, and now they're dealing with the fucking onslaught. What's the age? The average age of Ukrainian men now is like 50 or something.
Oh god,
because
we're getting into like
yeah.
we're getting into like last stage, like fall of Berlin. Like,
yes. Oh, it's
all right, everyone who's left is fighting now.
Well, there's people trying to leave, and they're like, no. The
Well, that was
trans
day
tried to
one.
get away. Well, there's still like there's people that, you know, they're still there and they're still trying to leave, and it's I couldn't imagine doing that now, dude. Now they probably don't even get you in a uniform and send you out. They probably just kill you on sight for
If you
trying to
don't,
leave.
yeah.
I mean, I would assume with how crazy it's gonna.
Well,
it's gotta be
it's
bad.
kind of like when they showed all the, like, these are just Russian conscripts like getting sent to the front lines and then
Yeah.
getting like sent over as cannon fodder. I'm like, I bet Ukraine's doing the same damn thing. Like, you won't fight willingly.
Yeah.
Well, it's like old commissar, like what's that movie? Enemy at the Gates.
Yeah, well, Colton,
Right.
only 20,000
The
people
man,
died.
the
that were
first man
Ukrainian.
takes the rifle. The second man, when the first man with the rifle gets shot, the second man picks up the rifle and shoots the rifle.
in the first Call of Duty game on the PC, that's like the opening Soviet mission is you're in line getting guns. One guy gets a rifle, the other guy gets a clip of ammo. And they're clips. They are actually clips then.
yeah.
But
Stripper clips, exactly.
but that's it. And so you get the ammo. So you're walking around like, oh shit.
Follow the guy
Follow
with the
other
rifle.
guy.
When he gets shot, pick up the rifle and start shooting
Essentially,
it.
yeah. But it's a wild because it opens up to the whole Battle of Stalingrad,
Which is insane.
Dude, the very first Call of Duty on PC is probably one of the best games, hand down. But like, because it captures all those crazy battles, and I feel like as a video game perception, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Like the screen shakes, and this is an old game.
Showing you the scope. Dude, nothing
I mean,
beats.
it's crazy.
For me, nothing beats World at War.
World
Call
at
of
War.
Duty World
That was
at
when
War.
they had vehicles
When you
and shit.
first go to the Russian campaign and your first opening is you're in that Joe, you got to pull up a picture of that fountain. It's like I can't remember the just look up like fountain Stalingrad. And it's like you start in that fountain
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and you're just surrounded by dead bodies,
Oh,
but you just
Jesus.
happen to still be alive. Or maybe it's not. It's the statue. It's like the kid statue. It's fucking creepy, dude. Stalingrad was such a. But when you think, that one with like the kids dancing in like the background of like the destroyed city, it's like a really
Oh, yeah,
eerie,
dude.
really eerie picture. But just the scale of that battle, like 2 million people died there. Like your average, it was like 24 hours was the life
meat grinder.
expectancy of a soldier in Stalingrad. That's brutal, man.
Crazy, dude.
I don't know. World.
That's
Sorry.
nuts.
Medal of Honor front lines. That kind of fucks.
I didn't like the Medal of Honor games because they were. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan.
I tell you what,
played 'em all.
Medal of Honor was my first person shooter, and it was Medal
think
of
same,
Honor.
yeah.
It was Medal of Honor.
Well,
like
the
1999 Medal of Honor.
Well,
Hell yeah, dude.
first video game where they actually used German. You know, they actually
yeah.
spoke German.
Yeah.
Get on the
There was-
ground.
There was a ton.
Do it now.
Well, I think
get to the chopper now.
He puts the lotion in the basket.
I don't know. I didn't really play a lot of like first person shooters. I think I got into it like when I was in high school when it started to be like a thing where everyone was playing online, together.
Like Modern Warfare 2 when
Yeah.
it got really
Yep.
popular.
Yeah,
But I
dude.
never like the only one that I had ever played outside of that was Medal of Honor. I think it was Medal of Honor Frontline, maybe. Was that the one where you start on
D-Day.
D-Day? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So I
There's
enjoyed
so many
that
of those
one.
Medal
but-
of Honor games, man. There's a
Oh
ton of
yeah,
them, weren't
a
there?
ton. Yeah.
Rising Sun, though, Colton.
Nothing beats that intro to Rising Sun. You're thrown into Pearl Harbor immediately.
Oh. You know,
The graphics don't hold up though. you
Nah,
go back
on
and
all
play it
these
now, you're
games,
like,
they
ooh,
don't.
that's
Yeah.
bad.
like
But
Battlefield 1942. So that was like you could jump in a plane, and it was all World War II. But Battlefield, that game was awesome.
Battlefield was my game,
love
dude. My
Battlefield.
first actual like going like legitimately hard online game. Going legitimately hard online gaming was probably Battlefield 3. Like the pinnacle of Battlefield.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's just
like
because I'm a GWOT guy.
No, they at a certain point they put into the games where you could actually like destroy the buildings.
Yes, that was like their first
that one.
It wasn't quite Levolution yet. That was Battlefield 4.
That stuff got
but it
cool,
was
man.
you could destroy the buildings
I love that
mostly. And some of them would collapse, but like Battlefield 4 took it the step further. It was like
Everything
now you can
collapsed.
take down skyscrapers and it'll change the entire map.
Yeah, dude. It's so cool.
Now we're seeing it in real life.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Yeah.
realistically, all these video games did kind of get us all ready for it. I mean, all this stuff came out, and all of us, and well, not all of us in this room, but a majority tried to join the military. And I feel like some of it's kind of
Yeah, what's
You know.
stopping you from volunteering in Ukraine right now, Zach?
Zach. They could use some young strapping lads.
Joey's got kit you can borrow.
Yeah.
Joey's like, no.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Joey's like, I know I ain't getting it back if he goes over there.
No, this motherfucker, this guy needs to be bringing back kit. Is what he needs to be doing.
Right? Go bring me back a BTR, dude.
Hey,
That's-
how's about some mission work, dude?
Some mission work.
Mission work to Ukraine. We could go start stealing all our shit that we're sending there back.
Yeah, you're gonna be a Lutheran.
Just taking guns.
Well, I know. Yeah, I know there's mission work over there right now, but I don't know. Who knows?
Look, the Nazis need some care, man. You got to change
yeah,
their ways.
yeah,
You got to help them people out.
yeah.
man.
I
They still
highly.
have statues to that. To the
Yeah,
man.
I know. Well, that was the weird thing too when this whole Ukraine thing came out. You know, because everyone just automatically went to Putin, bad guy. Anything that they do is bad, And then you started hearing about the Ukraine and like all of the Nazi crap that's still going on in Ukraine, and it's like, I do not want to sympathize with Putin. I really don't. But at the same time, it's like,
Do you-
if there's literal Nazis out there,
Yeah,
Do you remember the year
like,
2014?
he doesn't.
You do. You seem like is that where you were going?
Do you know who funded those Nazis? Where those Nazis came from?
2014.
Guess what? It's America.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. In 2014, right?
No.
Well, it was before that.
well,
even.
so I'm talking.
Catch me up, guys.
2014 was like our.
The reason I mentioned 2014 is that's when Putin originally invaded Ukraine and seized the Crimea.
Oh,
Under Obama.
okay. I remember Crimea. Yeah. Okay.
But do you remember the stories at the time? It
I
was
wasn't
very much
paying
like,
attention.
Putin invaded Ukraine, but they're like, well,
yeah.
there's a lot of Nazis in Ukraine.
Yeah. It's
So they're
okay.
like, and that was, it's kind of what it is. What it is, He seized the area and denazification, which is the same story today, but we
Right.
were a lot less sympathetic to it at the time because like I
Obama
said,
told him he'd have more time for leniency or whatever after the election with all that. And he's like, just hold off until after the election. We have more
yeah,
Yeah.
play.
there's more important things to do. I got to get reelected first and foremost.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we spent like $1 billion doing regime change, color revolution. Victoria Nuland, she's now resigned. But yeah, I mean, this was a big. It's all. I mean, we've been encroaching on Russia's borders forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Like in 2014, that was probably like the last thing on my mind. Honestly, was like stuff going on overseas.
I was in high school.
Yeah.
I was in.
Yeah.
Damn, were you?
I was taking current events in high school when this happened, which was the only reason I even knew what was going on because it really wasn't mainstream news or
Yeah.
anything. But I had Mr. Hoey here in Beloit.
Oh
teaching-
yeah, I had him.
teaching
American Democracy.
and
Yeah.
So he taught American Democracy, and then he also taught current events,
Yep.
which was essentially like if you're a high schooler and you want to know what's actually going on in the world today, take that class. So I did,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
that's the only reason I knew anything about it.
Oh,
And a lot of the talk about it was there's still very pro-Nazi, but it was more like Nazi sympathizers
Yeah.
in Ukraine.
yeah. And the lead up before the current invasion, the Ukrainians were going into some of those towns, those border towns, and like taking the people who were elected, like the local municipalities, taking them up on the roofs and like hanging them over the buildings. Like it was bad.
Yeah.
Like we think
But-
it's bad
but we-
here. Like our
Yeah.
corrupt politicians, it's like over there, it's an
Well,
entirely different type of cronyism.
The weird thing here is like with the 2020 thing, like that's what we do to other nations, but the CIA did it here.
yeah.
Like, that whole Like that's something that they do. Like color revolutions is something that's American foreign policy. That's Henry Kissinger.
Yeah.
I mean that was set on course a long time ago. In fact, the rise of China was Henry Kissinger.
The destabilization of South America and the rise of the cartels, that's Kissinger.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of interesting to. It's funny. I actually have never really put that together with what was going on in 2020 with all the riots and everything. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about, right? With all the rioting,
like the
BLM, and
maybe a little bit.
Okay,
that's probably.
That was just our boy fentanyl, Floyd.
I think there was that was legitimacy. I mean, dude, like people were locked in and like locked up. And,
we're talking COVID, not the
the COVID riots, George Floyd, all that stuff, kind of the same time. Like that was just people being cooped up. I think some of it was okay. Like the people that were being arrested and then bailed out, the Act Blue donations, Kamala Harris, all these people that were campaigning on the rioters' behalf and saying that they're not going to stop and all that stuff. Yeah. That is, they're taking advantage of the situation and funding it and keeping those people going.
Yeah,
that they basically became the Red Guard. Whether the CIA pushed that portion of it or not, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
did they have to?
I don't think they had.
You
to,
could,
really.
I mean, a lot of private institute there's a lot of that like conspiracy theories about George Soros. Like it's not really conspiracy theories. He absolutely
does it.
He absolutely has an agenda and he absolutely funds it and openly. And if you choose to see that, you see it, and if you don't, you don't.
Well, the whole BLM thing, that was, I mean, I know it was like a big rage during all of that, but that was like years before that became a thing. I remember seeing
Obama, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Or very shortly after.
No, because it was if I had a
I
son,
keep forgetting
he looked
he had
like
two
Trayvon
terms.
Martin or whatever.
Yeah.
It was Trayvon Martin. If I had a kid, he'd look like Trayvon.
Yeah, dude. That I remember thinking, well, because we lived right across the street from the college campus here in town at the time.
Beloit College?
Yeah, yeah, and we lived right across the street. And I remember, they had all of the special interest houses right across the street from us.
Okay.
And I don't remember what the one was directly across from us, but I remember seeing this big sign that just said Black Lives Matter. And I remember looking at it, I'm just like, yeah, what's your point?
Yeah.
That was literally my first thought. And then I started seeing little by little just more and more of these special interest houses starting to get these signs put up in their windows and stuff. And so I knew, I mean, a lot of people will tell you that they heard about the BLM and Black Lives Matter stuff right around the time of not Trayvon Martin, George Floyd. Yeah. But I was seeing it, and it just didn't make any sense to me, so I didn't look anything into it. And I think that's what a lot of people thought was, it's someone trying to make a statement.
It was a group. It was a Marxist.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, anyway, I would encourage anybody that wants to know anything about Black Lives Matter, actually do some of the research on the actual organization itself.
Look up some of the properties that they own and or purchase.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, look at their like taxes and stuff, because some of that is public knowledge where you can see how much they paid in taxes, or I should say didn't pay in taxes.
But there are different subcategories of the BLM community. So like there are some that are legit and are good.
Yeah.
But there are many that are
not.
Well, the problem is the main one, the one that received the majority of the funding and donations was the one that was predatory entirely. And
just
entirely self-serving.
Yep.
Spent it on themselves. And they lost a ton of support because of how violent they got.
Yeah.
That's also kind of like one of those red pill moments of like.
Well, it's anybody can attach themselves to a movement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could sit there and if you got a BLM, you're throwing up the fist, you're wearing all black, you're trying to match the garb, you're wearing the flag, and then you go out and destroy a bunch of businesses in Madison, Wisconsin on the campus on State Street.
Yeah.
Well, you already attach yourselves to them through like no fault of the organization itself, but just of your own, of your own volition.
Yep. And they encourage that type of behavior.
But that's the
that
problem. Right.
So
there's like a bird right outside the window.
Yeah,
there must be some
something.
sort of bird or some sort of. Do you hear that, Joe?
Or no, he's got I bet you got a carbon monoxide detector. Is that what it is? I think it might be going off. Is it in the
Carbon monoxide?
Yeah, is it in the garage? You got the car running?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's that water heater, man.
Here, give me that.
Yeah, give him that.
What, beer?
Don't get quiet on us now.
Yeah.
Is it going off?
What is happening?
EXE podcast not found.
Honestly, I was just trying to make it subtle so that way people actually thought you had a you had a fire detector.
Well, I didn't want them to think I was black for a minute, so I had to make sure that they're like,
oh my god,
let me spam this.
Just for all of those listening, because some of the people that listen to our podcast might not be hip with the memes.
That was Black Mike who said that.
That was Joey, our token minority.
Yeah. Oh crap. So yeah, this stuff. Honestly, I never really paid attention to international goings-ons until I suppose I would say more recently. I mean, I knew about the war in Iraq and our involvement in Afghanistan and all that.
Well, it's hard not to. You know, so many people that are actively participating in it.
But as far as the other stuff, you know, like you guys seem to know a lot about the, you know.
Take it easy with that statement.
Well, but way more than I do. You know, Russia and Crimea, the whole thing. I had heard about it, but I didn't really know anything about it, you know. And I think, I don't know, maybe part of that was because, you know, me and my wife got married in 2013. What did you just do?
He did what Joey did when he launched the loaded firearm off of the chair.
At least it was an empty beer bottle.
No, but I don't know. I didn't really pay attention too much.
Jim.
I had, me and my wife got married in 2013. So I really wasn't paying too much attention to that kind of stuff. But I know, looking back on it, I just don't think that there was a lot of mainstream stuff going on that was being shown in America, I feel like.
No, man. I made that back in the day. There was a Yahoo News like top 5 headline thing, you know, and it was like Kim Kardashian, yada yada, and it was a bunch of like celebrity gossip, and then like down at the bottom, it like no picture,
little scrolling banner,
no picture attached, and it was like 500 dead and like Houthi strike in Yemen, and it's like
forever.
What?
Yeah.
Like what's going on in Yemen?
Yeah.
So then I looked into that. It's like, oh, we're funding a Saudi Arabian campaign on bombing the people of Yemen.
It's kind of fun. It's like when you think about history, it's like average European war. War goes on for 100 years between the King of Luxembourg and the Archduke of Austria-Hungary. 14 dead. And then it's like land dispute in China, 100 million killed.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think I probably contributed to in that time. I probably contributed to the whole like blind, you know, turning a blind eye to stuff. Yeah. I think I really did because.
Well, I mean, to be fair, how much does it actually affect your life? Unless we're actively involved.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, though, I one of the things that we've said on this podcast too is, you know, we want to try to keep yourself as informed as you can, you know, about some of this stuff. But
when was it that like CNN and Fox stopped showing like the nonstop Iraq war coverage? That was probably late 2000s, like mid to late 2000s.
We thinking like 2010.
I'm thinking like 2005, 2006.
It's probably, really? Yeah, I think it would be at its height
up
then because that was like the surge, wasn't it?
One of them, but I would have said like 07 is probably when they're like, all right, I'm tired.
Well,
of
like
this.
after
is
you
it
get
about
through,
07,
you know, we get Fallujah in 04, we get Ramadi in 06.
Well, we started losing. Like we went in there, kicked ass, and then we
lost the initiative. It went from here's a giant, like we're steamrolling. Mm-hmm. We steamrolled Iraq's military.
Yeah.
Now we settle in to fight the insurgency. All right, we took Fallujah. We took Ramadi back from the insurgency. And now we're starting to suffer severe casualties because now it's a long stalemate where
but we created that insurgency. Like we set ourselves up to be there forever. Like I mean,
on purpose.
Yeah. At first, you're kind of like, you take a step back. It's like, why are we doing it this way? This is so stupid. And then once you realize that everything, they're just doing this, it's on purpose. Like George Bush's dad talks about the New World Order and how they needed unlimited war in the Middle East. And Iraq was one of the countries on the list. Iran's a big country on that list.
Kuwait was probably on that list, but they were completely complicit with us just be okay. Well,
that was an easy one.
We'll just sit here and we'll let you be here, actually.
Right. But yeah, these were all part of that.
No problems from us.
The liberal New World Order, which is what's falling right now, which is why everything seems so freaking crazy. Yeah. This is the new globalization period that we're falling under. This is the new World Order. The George Soros, Klaus Schwab. This is the culmination of the Henry Kissinger plan, because they brought up China to rise to avoid Thucydides' trap, so that once they eventually get above us, it was to accelerate that process by sending all our manufacturing and everything over there, so that they could just economically take over, so that there wouldn't be a World War III. That was the plan. That's how you avoid Thucydides' trap. That's what they thought. That was the power struggle. And then they don't care what the world government looks like, because they're the elites. They're at the top. They're at the helm. Kissinger's kids or whatever spawn he has, they're going to be fine. They're settled. The World Economic Forum peoples, Klaus Schwab, the Soros family, like all these people are fine. They're in charge. They don't care if we're chained to a desk, like quite literally chained to a desk. They don't care. They could care less. They want us to be under China's model because they see how efficient it is. They can get whatever they want done at the snap of a dime.
Yeah, sure.
Because everybody's,
what are you going to do?
It's a very efficient system when when you hold a gun to everyone's head.
Yeah.
So
your social credit score just decreased by 100,000 points.
Right.
We were just talking about social credit score. So honestly, maybe go one at a time, but honestly, where do you think, how close do you think we are? How imminent is it for World War III?
All right, everyone give their opinions right now, all at the same time.
3, 2, 1, close.
Very.
What do you think, Kyle? I mean, I know you think it's
close.
Yeah, you've said it's close, but how imminent do you think? Like, do you think it'll happen? Like within the next year?
I really, really don't want it to, but I think that if it's going to pop off, it's going to be this year.
Okay.
It'll be before the
you
election.
said World War III, right?
On an election year.
With whom?
So the election won't happen.
It's a good question, Joey, and I have an answer for that.
The entire world.
Yeah. I believe we're already in the beginning stages of it. Mm-hmm. You think of World War II, and it wasn't, America thinks of World War II as 1941 to 1945.
Mm-hmm. Right.
World War II had been going on since 1930. Well,
31.
1930. Well, Hitler took the chancellery by force in 1933.
Well, he.
But if you consider Japan's imperial expansion in the 30s, early 30s, like 31 to 36, most of the crimes that we look at Japan for in World War II occurred long before our involvement and before Germany was even at war with Europe.
Yeah, well, we don't care about the Chinese, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, right.
Or the Filipinos,
the rape of Nanking is like... What you ask somebody in Japan what that is, and they're like, I don't even know what that is.
Sakoi! That's all they care about.
But they sure do know about Nagasaki, don't they? They won't let that one go.
Right. Well, you think about it in that terms, there were almost a decade of appeasement and excusatory actions that took place before we actually got directly involved in World War II and before many of our allies got involved.
Yeah.
So what...
I think so. Like the point is, like once the history books,
Germany invaded Czechoslovakia in 1936.
Oh, it's immediately.
So sorry,
and then it's like that's all we're gonna do, guys.
I've got to interrupt the broadcast here. We got breaking news from the Babylon Bee. Media reports Trump threatens nuclear war. He says this guacamole is the bomb.
You know how bad it is when you can read a Babylon Bee headline and be like, is that satire?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Babylon Bee.
I posted something like that today saying like the Babylon Bee's out of business because there was like a post by the New York Times. I gotta find it because it's hilarious. But yeah, the point is like when the history book's written, they're gonna write up and it's gonna include all this time as a small little paragraph. You know what I mean? Right. Like the lead up happened and Biden and NATO surged money and troops to Ukraine and like all this is going to be written down.
This is literally Lend-Lease. right now. We're in Lend-Lease.
So what do you think is going to be the tipping point then where America decides to get involved, or well, any NATO countries decide to get directly involved, boots on the ground? What do you think?
France is threatening it like.
France, I didn't realize that.
Is going hard.
Well, France is going to surrender soon.
Ironically,
yeah. They're
so what?
As they're planning their invasion, they are also simultaneously planning their surrender.
Their inevitable capitulation.
They found that it's just easier to come up with both plans while everyone's still alive.
So, what do you think? What do you think America's involvement, boots on the ground, like? I'm not talking just a few reconnaissance
like SF that we have now.
Yeah.
Weapons advisors teaching them how to use the stuff we've sent. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the thing: we're already in Iraq and being attacked daily by Iranian proxies.
Yeah, General Mattis.
Those 3 soldiers that were killed a couple months ago by an Iranian, not a drone strike in the sense of an American drone strike, but a drone strike in the sense of they fire these kamikaze drones, which are Kyle. You might be familiar with like a Switchblade.
Yeah,
which is basically just a UAV, like a small unmanned drone that basically just has C4 on it, and they'll fly it right into you and blow you up. This is essentially this is essentially what the Iranian proxies, which these are Iraqis, but they are loyal to Iran.
I mean, that was the insurgency. That's the point. We killed the Iraqi army. We beat them in like a year, and then
Kataib,
we
Hezbollah,
fought Iran.
Al Qaeda. Exactly.
It was a proxy war against Iran at that point.
You hear about all these EFPs and these IEDs killing American soldiers. Those were supplied directly from Iran.
Their branding was on the rocket materials.
Yes.
That stuff doesn't all blow up when the rocket blows up. Believe it or
Contrary
not.
to popular
you guys have a little bit more of an aptitude for this kind of stuff than I do, just because, well, one,
you can still have an opinion about it.
You want an opinion on
yeah.
America's direct involvement in the war will literally, I guarantee you, it'll be between us and Iran to start.
I was just going to say, Iran seems to be the big one involved.
It'll probably start in Iraq, and it'll probably be American military forces in Iraq directly engaging Iranian proxies.
I could see that.
Which will eventually spill over into, okay, you know what, we're getting directly involved with Iran now.
But I think
it's going to reach a tipping point to where we're like, okay, we can no longer just say these are proxies. We're going to directly find Iran responsible for this and begin targeting them directly.
Yeah.
And that'll be the U.S.'s involvement, probably Army Marines, but they will also, because simultaneously, like when this all hits the fan and it's like inevitable and like everybody knows that it's like undeniable, it's going to be Taiwan. The Ukraine thing's going to be worse, but Taiwan's going to blow up. And then we're going to start doing a surge back into the Middle East to, like, exactly what you're saying, take the Iran threat. But, yeah, that's if you want to consider the Axis powers and whatever powers. I think we're technically the Axis powers this go around. I honestly feel like China.
The EU and the United States and NATO as a whole.
Because
I think we're going to, sorry to interrupt, but I think we're going to forget about Taiwan here in 2 years' time when Ohio gets their plant up for their microchips.
But I'm saying that I think Taiwan's going to get hit before that even happens. Because it would be strategic for China to not let us develop a plant factory.
Right. Thus, they tighten the noose around our neck even tighter.
Yeah, because once war breaks out, we get our antibiotics from China. Like, not just everything. Chips for computers, for cars. I mean, dude, we've sent it all. There was a Taiwanese patent for the coaxial cable taps for getting your internet and stuff. They were Taiwanese. Mm-hmm. China bought that patent. So now it's the exact same product that can be plug and played, but it's now China. They say made in China on them instead of made in Taiwan. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, but like they're already like a big hacker culture country, like very espionage based.
If China directly attacks the United States, it will not be a force on force. It'll be some sort of.
You're just going to be disabled.
It will be some sort of cyber attack that puts us down, entirely crashes our economy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Make a couple pipelines go crazy, shut down a bunch of our power plants, simultaneously shut down the entire infrastructure of the internet.
Because adding on to Colton, I don't think that anyone, honestly, Russia, China, and I don't think anyone can fight with our military power, like on a force-on-force reactionary type.
Right.
Like we would destroy them tenfold.
You don't think that they've had enough time to destroy our military?
No, No, especially because we're talking about
General
like,
Milley's.
The problem comes from
we're talking
there
about
is that.
like our Air Force though.
You're
like,
thinking of like our education system where it's already been weakened and destroyed from the inside.
Yeah, haven't they been doing that to our military? I mean, I was in and they were pretty soft versus like, you know, like.
Well, everyone
I
says
knew it
that.
was
I
getting
mean,
that.
you
What-
ask
what-
a World War II veteran, like, well, your fucking drill sergeant didn't shit in your throat and
Yeah, exactly.
beat you over the head with a ball peen hammer.
Yeah,
You guys
like-
are getting military soft. You got soft hands, brother. Soft hands. I just got off a 120-hour unpaid shift, crushing my legs in a hydraulic press.
like well, when we're talking about like especially like the military doctrine of America and stuff, it's like, hey, we have air superiority wherever the fuck we go.
Yeah.
And the
And-
rest of our
naval.
doctrine is we don't know what we're doing, but the enemy definitely doesn't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, we're already going on to Gen 6 fighters where everyone else is still on Gen 4 fighters. Like
We
they're
missed
they're
the
not even going to
hypersonic
be.
thing though. Supposedly, we were developing hypersonic tech and it was stolen. And
I don't know about that.
Well, China's really good about stealing our IP
They-
before we get it.
Dude, it's crazy how involved they are in all of our and I don't know if you guys remember before 2020 election happened and COVID and all that shit. It actually, yeah, like right as the rise of COVID was happening, there was a giant case against the universities where they were finding all these Chinese communist military party members like in the universities, like a lot of
Well,
them.
that doesn't surprise me.
But-
I live in Madison.
Right. Oh, there's
drive
tons
down,
of them
drive
there.
down University Road.
Oh, absolutely.
Have you gone to Beloit College?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
Beloit
I'm
College.
sure it's the same.
Yeah, because that's the weirdest thing too with Beloit College, because like they stick to themselves. Like they shuttle to like Walmart, but they don't go to Walmart during the day with They go when it's as empty as possible, so that
Yeah.
no one else.
Well, they
and
can't.
I don't get
They
it,
can't
man.
anymore because Walmart shuts down after
Does
like
it?
9 p.m.
Well, this was when
They
I
shot
worked there.
themselves in the foot with COVID.
It is true though, because over there, when we were living over there, there was like no one out like during the day when you'd expect to see a bunch of college campus kids
Yeah, but they'd
walking
be
to
out at night.
classes. Oh yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what the hell, man?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like they're
it is-
sticking to the schedule. And you could just, yeah. So, but it was a huge case and it was coming out and then it just completely got buried because of the whole COVID narrative thing happened. And then I think that whole case fell apart.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and it's like good things were happening under Trump. Epstein died. We
Did
might
he?
have found out.
Did he kill
well,
himself? Well,
I
he
just,
died.
that's why I
Did he
said
kill
died.
himself?
I don't know. But we could have potentially found out what was happening there because it was crazy that he was being protected. And as soon as Trump gets in, the guy gets jailed and actually is like going to be, you know, I don't know, man. There's
Yeah.
no coincidences here anymore. Like,
Well-
that's all I'm finding out the older I get. A lot of this stuff is not coincidence.
it's interesting.
Hanlon's razor is becoming obsolete.
Yes, dude.
never attribute to malice what you can attribute to incompetence. It's
Yeah.
very much
Right.
becoming. A lot of this feels a lot
That's-
like malice and
yeah.
very deliberate.
That only works when the Christians are in charge. Now with the communists are in charge.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not really the
Well-
status quo.
It's funny. You guys brought up that war is going to be like so much different. Well, I mean, I'm thinking about it. You're absolutely right. It doesn't need to be a force on force anymore.
It's gonna be a bunch of drones, dude.
well, it's drones.
Not only that, but it's
shutting
like
down.
you don't
entire,
have to engage and invade us directly.
Right.
If you could shut us down from, I can shut you down from Beijing.
Yeah.
I don't have to ever step
shut
foot on
down
your
our
soil.
shut down our entire power grid.
I can shut down your power grid and watch your citizens eat themselves,
Right.
Yeah.
beat themselves to
Yeah.
pieces.
That is true. That's crazy.
A good thing we're still on floppy disk then. I mean, we are because it stays off the
Shit.
internet.
I upgraded to the
A lot of
A
our
drive or whatever that was.
I don't know if you know, but a lot of our military infrastructure is still on like 80s tech computer
Oh, yeah.
because it's all off grid.
It's funny you mentioned
Yep.
that. I got
Yeah.
2 terabytes of
Child
military tech in my basement on a Windows 92 computer.
No, that's true. And there was actually a time where during COVID the pipeline was having trouble. And
Which one? The Russian one?
no.
That we bombed?
Oh.
Keystone.
It was the one internal. But it was
Oh, I know the Keystone never got finished.
it was one
Hey, who's
internal
that?
one, but the
Who-
computer
who-
system got shut down and they couldn't. Nobody knew how to do the work manually. They only knew the computer system, but the computer system went down.
That's always good.
So yeah, they're like had no idea
That's always good. No failsafe.
what to do.
It's really good. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm used to Windows doing this for me, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, the failsafe was that 60-year-old guy that retired last month that helped
that helped build the entire system. Yeah.
You know, we know how that's going. A lot of people say that they can't wait for the boomers to step aside so that, you know, we can take over. I am so scared once all the boomers step aside.
I think people are just going to realize when that happens, like, oh, I actually don't understand what I'm doing.
Yes,
dude.
exactly.
That's exactly, yeah. People are going to have a very rude awakening.
And not that I'm super pro-boomer, but I am very like, people do not understand. Like, Liz, I know you think you can run this by yourself, but once you get put in that position and you realize, oh, I don't even kind of understand how this operates.
Right.
Yeah, and see, like, you know, I've heard people talk about this and they'll say, oh, well, what happened with, you know, the generation before the boomers? You know, they had to be phased out of a certain field, you know, and so the boomers took over.
Nobody's had what we've had.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I think the difference is that the way that education is being run right now, the education that kids are being given now, it's everything done for you. You know,
yeah, boomers, thanks Bush, No Child Left Behind.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big one. Yeah.
Just make them all equally retarded.
I mean, well, think about it. Think about it. I think all of us, I mean, maybe all of us, we were allowed scientific calculators on our math exams.
Yeah.
You know, whereas, I mean, the
people
boomers
doing that same calculus class 10 years before you were, like, they were doing that on paper and writing it out.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, they had a scratch piece of paper.
That's the thing. Like, think a calculator or something, like, it's just doing the work for you. It's doing the work for you. You don't have to understand the process of how you reach a point. The calculator does it for you, whereas before you would actually need to understand the process of finding your answer.
And the funny thing is, a lot of math is pretty easy. If you can figure out the formula, man, you can figure out almost everything.
Yeah. Well,
like,
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like,
right.
I think like long
inputting.
You know, long division is probably when you talk about the addition, you know, subtraction, multiplication, division. Division was always the one that like every kid was more intimidated by. And realistically, if you think about it, the only reason it's more intimidating is because it takes more space on the paper to actually work it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I always just wrote down, cause for, you know, show your work. I always just wrote did in my head.
Yeah.
Or teachers didn't like that.
Well, anymore you can just say did it on calculator.
Oh.
You know.
Oh, see, yeah, I must not have been allowed a calculator then because I had to show my work.
We still had to show. Well, yeah, and see, there were parts, but
it depends on what stage of math you're
exactly.
at. I think early on for like basic division, absolutely, you have to show your work.
Right.
But then you start getting into like dividing fractions,
Yep.
and then it's more like, okay, this is more complicated. They're probably using their calculator. Understandable if you don't show your work, kind of thing.
Well, even like some of the advanced stuff, though, you should still be showing your work because it gives the teacher, the educator, like, hey, okay, I see where you screwed up.
Yeah, it should be
or
the
the opposite. Okay, I see that you understand the process of finding your answer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if there's a process, you know, it's just like an argument when you're having a debate with someone or you're debating a point. You know, you have to be able to realize where they went off the track. You know, if you don't accept what their end conclusion. And you find out, okay, well, your premise right here is wrong. You have to be able to figure out where they went off the track. And it's the same for a teacher. You know, in order to be able to do your job and teach this kid, you have to be able to tell them where they went off the rail. Because otherwise, I mean, they may have had every single process correct, except that, you know, maybe they mismultiplied here or there.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's exactly why the show your work, you know, that
right.
That's the reasoning for it. But
you were just a rebel,
I hated it, man. Like, because sometimes, like I hated math, dude. I just did not have a good time with it.
Maybe you just weren't good at it.
No, man, they kept putting me in all the advanced math classes. When I got to Florida and did their standardized test, they put me in advanced math, and I'm like, you people must be dumb if you're putting me in advanced math. That's all I could think. But now I'm doing quadratic equations and stuff. I'm just like, dude.
What do you mean by you people?
Exactly what you think.
How many yellow people do you think are in Florida?
Yeah. Floridians, they are those people.
Yeah. Floridians. Florida man.
Cubans.
Florida man and girl.
Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy. I think you guys, what you're saying about how we're going to be screwed when the boomer generation gets out of the workforce.
What do you mean by you guys?
Get him.
But yeah, when they fall off, you know, there's not going to be anyone to fall back on, and everyone's going to realize really quickly, wow, I haven't learned anything. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
And
I like what you just said though, because like in my head, I just pictured someone falling backwards off a cliff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's no one to fall back on anymore because those people fell off the cliff already.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just a funny little cartoon in my head there.
Yeah.
I thought I'd share to the
makes
class.
sense. Yeah. You know, I think about it. So I'm really active in my church, and there's our.
Joe's getting really gun happy over here. Just watching him wave this gun around like, all right, man.
Cool, dude.
there's an example that I have that I kind of think about as I'm talking about this. You know, I'm really active at my church, and I talk to the guy that's in charge of the properties, the entirety of the property of our church. And, you know, he's always working on the boiler system, or he's always working on, you know, this or that. So I don't know the first thing about a boiler.
Yeah.
You know, a pump.
I mean,
well, let me help you out, man.
It makes water hot.
It boils water into steam, and then the steam is what heats.
It usually ends up with a very dry skin feel in the rooms that are heated this way.
Idiot.
Got it. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, it's you look at this boiler in this boiler room, you know, and it's
I get the point you're trying to make.
There's a ton of different components. There's pumps
all these
here,
gauges
pumps there,
that tell you exactly
all
what
of
you
that.
need to know.
And you know, he's looking at all this, and he's like, oh well, this is bad because of this, and this is, you know, it's like no one our age wants to learn that stuff. No one wants it because they see it as obsolete.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's so many other buildings and other things that use boiler systems that it's more expensive to put in a forced air heating system versus a boiler system.
Yeah.
And so they could be saving themselves money and actually learning something by learning how this piece of equipment works, but instead
that's just troubleshooting though, man.
Yeah.
And like, I get you're saying, because it's frustrating to hear you say that, because like I love that shit, like just figuring out how stuff works and fucking like, that's not it.
I get wanting to learn how it works, but I think what I mean is no one nowadays, like our age and younger, are wanting to learn these things. That's the difference that I'm talking about. Is no one wants to learn about this.
Right.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think there's more of a resurgence in people going back to trades.
A little bit. It's starting to be encouraged.
It's
but
because the people our age were given that whole like influencer, you know, like, oh, what does it take to make a good life? Well, I'm going to need to make $500,000. And
exactly.
It's like people that have all these really unrealistic worldviews and these worldviews that were set for them.
Yeah. Well, I think, and I think you've talked about this reset that's starting to happen with the youth right now. I think that is partly because they're seeing people their parents' age that don't know anything about anything. They decided they wanted to go to college, got a degree that isn't worth anything.
Yeah.
You know, in
feminism studies.
Underwater basket weaving, you know, and realize that they can't do anything with it. And so they realize, well, you know what? If I get into the trades, I work my butt off for 4 years, I'm going to be making way more than anyone coming out of college with a degree.
Yeah,
you know, just you wait, Zach. When the great calling comes from China and I have to weave some baskets, ooh, man.
As long as you're doing it underwater, because that's what people understand.
You don't want to be a regular basket weaver. You got to be an underwater basket. Those underwater basket weavers make way more.
Way more, dude.
They make like on average at least 2 cents more.
But it's piece rate.
At least
rate, so you make way.
Yeah. Well, you know, until those little child hands know how to make it better.
Yeah, that was my point too. Yeah, I mean,
you ain't got nothing on them kids, dude.
You know what? In 1968, they outlawed child labor.
Yeah.
In 2008, the most popular game on Steam was Minecraft. So if we learned anything, the children yearn for the mines.
Yeah.
I mean, look at China's ability to grow, and they still have child labor.
Yeah,
but look at how weak we are.
It's all those.
We need those fine little small hands.
Don't think of it as a suicide cage. Think of it as a bouncy house net.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, what other topics did we want to cover?
What topic did we just cover?
Couldn't tell you. You're at
all kinds of stuff.
I don't know,
You're
man.
at 55 minutes.
We started at Ukraine and ended on the mines.
Well, we first started. I think the first thing we brought up was the Russian terrorism.
Right. I think that's the
terrorism
only
in
real
Russia.
topic.
Yeah, but that was down. I'm up now. I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about something more happy. All right, so yeah, no, lots of people were gunned down.
Well, if you think about it,
horrible,
103 commies died.
Did they though? Russia's not commie anymore.
Nah, they're not. They're not. Honestly, they're like.
Here we go.
Honestly, they're almost like a low key, like not really a democracy, but they're like a pseudo socialism.
Yeah, it's weird.
They're honestly more low grade socialism than the majority of Europe at this point.
Is it really?
Yeah, like
They're more like Christian than anybody else.
Yes,
which is. But they also have
honestly,
a lot of Muslims.
I think we honestly have a lot more in common with Russia than we do with like Sweden.
Or
Norway.
Dude. Oh yeah,
Yeah, but
Sweden's incredibly racist.
Well, you think about their
And
see.
ruined.
I don't know
Against whom?
I look at
Blacks.
Anybody
that's
who's not
Swedish.
white. Yeah.
Anybody that's
Sorry,
that
do we
can't
not
speak
do we
perfect
not
Sweden.
do
or
we know how
whatever the language
Sweden
is.
got how they got?
Yeah,
It's like,
what?
wow, everybody here is like 6'2" and blonde hair and blue eyed. It's like, yeah, there's a really specific reason for that.
Yeah. Did you know what happened in Norway, Finland, and Sweden during World War II?
No, not even that. I'm talking more of like their selective, very specifically like,
Yeah.
wow, nobody in Sweden has Down syndrome. Correct.
We fixed that problem.
Yeah. How did you fix it?
We fixed that problem at birth.
How did you fix it?
yeah.
Did you guys find the cure? Something like that.
Yeah.
One could say yes. A cure.
That's funny.
Is it though?
Boy. It's interesting because
But that should show you the difference in their values and ours.
Yeah. Well, look
in
at
their
Russia.
mind-
When I think about Russia too, like I see things like people parading down the road on a motorcycle with a rainbow flag, an LGBT flag, and people are chasing them. Military's chasing them down, trying to take them out. You know, they're taking them.
Maybe we
fuck?
could learn a thing from Russia.
Oh, they did.
Well,
Before this terrorist attack happened, they designated the LGBTQ club as a terrorist and extremist organization.
And the
so
other thing
ISIS
too.
is gay.
Well, Russia is
Very happy with their mission.
one of the things that that Russia, it's been known too, is that you cannot show. So let's say you're a gay couple, two men go on holiday vacation, whatever people want to call it, to Russia, and they're seen holding hands and things.
Okay.
They're going to be talked
Shot?
to or detained or shot, or it's known to be very dangerous to show public displays of affection between same-sex couples in Russia.
I mean,
And so-
Iran likes that though. They're pretty cool with that, right, Colton?
Iran's super chill with
Yeah.
the gays.
You know what I found weird is Iran's thing about the gays.
Did you see Iran's
Sorry to
Pride
cut you
Month?
off, Golden.
Didn't you
Sorry,
see Iran's
Zach.
Pride Month post on Twitter?
Iran's?
Yeah.
No.
No, they didn't have one. That would've cracked
I
me.
thought it was gonna be a
That'd have been
joke.
hilarious.
Like they're just killing somebody.
No, it's just
No.
it's like Iran's flag replaced with like rainbows or something.
So maybe this is something that I'd be really interested to research this a little bit, but try to figure out. So I guess you guys might know a little bit more about Russia than I do, but what do you think? I mean, everyone likes to think of them as a communist country, like you guys were just talking about. But I mean, realistically, where would you put them on the scale? I mean, obviously a little bit, if you look at your political maps when you took your tests, you have your left to right and then your authoritarian to, liberty.
It's a dictatorship.
They are going to be
right.
They're going to be in your upper right quadrant,
right quadrant,
but not
right.
nearly as far as people think.
Right.
It's not nearly as bad as like a North Korea.
Yeah, it's
I'd
not-
honestly
Right.
call China worse than them.
China's worse. I'd say China's worse.
authoritarian.
Tons worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just interesting because everyone just rushes to the the whole communist.
Well, they are Russian.
gotta be- yeah,
Yeah, man. They're like the OGs, man.
right. But I think it's just interesting. People, I guess the point that I was going to try to make
Everybody
with that
who
too,
thinks about Russia immediately equates them to the Soviet Union, and it's
Right.
like you need to remember the Soviet Union hasn't existed since 1991.
yeah.
The world has changed drastically since then.
Well, and it's so funny too because the same people that will latch onto that idea that Russia is, all about communism, they're the same ones that want communism. They're the same ones that want that socialism and want to push towards
Yeah.
that.
That's
And
my
it's like-
favorite thing right now.
But then they'll talk about Russia in a negative light.
Exactly.
Everything's
exactly.
so Oh man, everything's so
They're like, we
fucked
need
up right
communism in the United
Dude,
States, but not like Russia. They're
Simultaneously,
nationalists.
you'll have someone with a pro-Palestinian flag calling other people Holocaust deniers, and it's just like you people are so fucked. Like you have no idea what side you're on or who believes what.
Me and Joey made this joke the other week. Like, you think there's like Gaza deniers? Like, oh yeah, sure, 2 Guerrillian Gazans died.
Well, not yet, but there will be. Hopefully in the future.
Yeah.
That's all that we can hope for.
Oh sure, there was a Holocaust in fucking Gaza. Yeah, okay. Show me the bodies. Show me the rubble.
Those gas chambers were put up after they got there.
That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious though if that actually happened. Like that took hold.
Yeah.
Like
Dude,
Gaza deniers.
Because
Dude, Holocaust deniers is a real thing.
Oh,
I can never tell if it's. I can never tell if they're serious or if it's just like, I want to piss you off so bad.
Exactly.
I will never give up.
Hey,
like
my running theory is that we're in a state of chaos right now because of internet trolls.
Yeah, that's literally. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I have a feeling it's like everyone's like, people actually think the Holocaust didn't happen. I'm like, dude, the trolls got
it
you.
was just
the
someone
trolls
just fucking making someone else
The trolls
mad.
actually convinced you that
So,
there's people out there that truly believe it.
All these boomer politicians got super triggered by trolls their minds all broke, and now we have a communist revolution going on in our country.
Yeah.
Because of the trolls, man.
There's probably a lot of truth to that, because think about when in society, before all of the internet, the big internet boom and social media, when were you able to say something without having any sort of direct like consequence to it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you said something rude to somebody,
Shit, I get banned on Facebook like every other week for like.
but
Yeah.
I mean,
it takes a lot not to get banned from Twitter every other week.
Yeah,
it's just, I mean,
it's ironic.
Just hate people.
But that's not, in my mind, that's really not a consequence in my mind. What I mean is, like, back in the, I won't say back in the day because it wasn't my day, but before us, if you said something sideways to somebody, you had the risk of,
you're talking about like talking shit to people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Trolling trolling in real life.
Well, if you ever looked on Facebook, how many people actually have their profile picture as a picture? You don't even know what these people look like.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just talking shit. It could be your next door neighbor. You don't know because they're not going to show their face.
Yep.
Because they don't want to have any consequences for what they're saying.
Exactly, and that's my point. There's
it's like that's why I admire the boomers, because you see them on Facebook. They'll just say the most racist shit in the world, and they'll have like their job, who they're married to, their address,
and it's always
dude,
like their GPS location.
Don't you know that we can
checked
see
in
you,
for
bro?
Buffalo Wild Wings on Milwaukee.
Jeff D. Daniels lives at this address in this city, works here, is a manager at this establishment.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, bro, you really just said that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And it's always the same profile picture. It's down at like a 45-degree angle, looking up. Them looking down,
clearly driving their truck with their sunglasses.
Yeah, there you go.
Looking at it like they're fucking trying to focus.
Yeah,
Their mouth kind of open.
Yeah,
Looking stupid.
Yeah, dude.
Bastards.
It's so funny.
It's like you almost have to admire it. Like, dude, the confidence to just come right out and do that.
Yeah, right.
Or
I hate black people. All right, Janice. Jesus Christ.
There's
you have your church posted in your bio. Like, calm down.
Yeah. Dude, like there's some bravery to it, but I think a lot of it just boils down to ignorance. Just ignorance on the internet. They don't know how bad they could get messed up by someone if they really wanted to,
They haven't been doxxed yet.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and honestly, so back when I was doing cable, I can't tell you how many times I'd walk into an old lady's house and she said, "Oh yeah, I lost $8,000 last year because of a hoax from an email."
You've been hacked. You've been hacked. You need to go to Walgreens right now and buy every gift card you can.
Yes, and they would.
Yeah.
They would.
I'm a Nigerian prince.
Yep.
I can give you $100 million. I just need you to give me $10,000.
Well, and then you'd have the old creepy dudes who'd be sending these women like thousands of dollars, and they're living in these nasty apartments, but they're sending thousands and thousands of dollars to these women, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna meet up. We were supposed to meet up like 2 months ago, but then she couldn't. And then before that, we had plans to meet up somewhere too, but someone in her family died." It's like, dude, how do you not understand? They're just
now my favorites are the
taking you
classic
for a
military.
ride.
Some chick hits you up and asks for a nude. And then you send it to them. They're like, send me every cent in your bank account or I'm going to send this to your family and everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how many dudes, dude, when I was in SOI, so many dudes. I'm like, hey, you guys want to get something to eat? Like, I can't, man. I'm broke. I just I just had to empty my bank account.
You know what I don't send nudes, but what I would tell them is like,
I'm like, bro, did you really? I'm like, tell them to do it.
Yeah, tell them to fuck off.
Yeah.
Just
Fucking
like,
do it.
They
then.
don't know shit, man. I've had one of those before, and dude.
The funniest
I
ones
was
to talk
fucking with
about,
them
though.
hard. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. That happens all the time.
Yeah.
And they try to hit you, and it's just like, I just died laughing, like LOL, all caps, LMAO, raffle with the tear-eyed emoji, like go fuck yourself.
I'm glad, unnamed man. I'm glad he figured it out though.
Yeah.
Because
Did
it's
he
like,
figure it out?
oh yeah. Did he give you
Unnamed man.
stuff back?
No, I'll have to get more information out of him. I thought he was just like, oh my God, did you just do it?
Yeah, no, he I talked to him about it. I was like, yo, like, why didn't you just tell him to fuck off? And he said, I did eventually, but I was super spooked.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
The car breakdown.
One of
you
our
gotta go
one of
pay for
our
that
buddies
repair.
one of our buddies had that happen to him very recently.
Oh, no.
He's like,
Oh.
yo, I need you to Venmo me $400 right now. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, he gave me that exact scenario. I'm like, bro,
No, so
you went through the Marine Corps the same as I did. You knew.
So,
know.
My thing about it, Colton, is so I hopped in. He messaged me on Discord. And we were going to play video games, and I got in a little late, right? And I hopped in, and I hear him talking to this individual, and I'm thinking that he's trolling this. I didn't understand the context behind it. I thought he was just like, oh, I got a spam call. I'm going to troll the fuck out of this person.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And then I'm listening to this conversation, and I'm going back and forth between it. Like, is this legit? Like, is he currently getting scammed? Or is he trolling them? I cannot figure it out.
Are you talking to a Nigerian prince right now?
After listening to it for like 45 minutes, I went and took a shower. And I came back, and my stuff is blown up. Like, call me. I'm like, what is going on?
I just love that all of us with like zero hesitation, like, yeah, here you go. I know you'll pay me back.
That's funny. That's funny. Oh boy,
It's rough, man. The internet is rough, man. Unforgiving.
Too good.
Yeah, that's I don't know, man. I think there's going to come a point too where I think we've already reached it where
Where you're
people
sending
just don't care.
some, your dick pic to
No. I think we've reached a point now where people are starting to become accustomed to and fully relying on not having to pay the consequences for what they say.
True.
I mean,
No, I agree
Yeah,
with
but I
that.
do like seeing them paid when they get to be paid. Because, was it Mike Tyson said that? People totally forgot what it is, what it feels like or whatever to get punched in the face for saying shit. Or something.
oh yeah.
I'm not saying sorry for anything that I say. So
No.
Well, yeah. I think there's a lot more of, especially now with
You ever see somebody slip up though now? Like in person?
what do you mean?
Like somebody who's like you saying, like is so used to running their mouth on the internet and then they kind of like almost forget that they're in person and they'll say some shit and somebody's like and that like whoever they're talking to just checks them real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know. We're not boys. Like who are you?
Yeah.
And
Or they're
then
like-
you can like you see like the fear of God into their eyes, like, oh shit, I can't run away from. I can't just log out of Facebook.
Exactly.
Well, like when we're at a restaurant,
Fuck, I
right,
like-
and like you have a Hispanic server, and like these freaking Mexicans, bro, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
You think you don't think I'll lose this job to beat your ass?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, it's crazy. I think there's a lot of young people. See, there's a lot more like intellectual bullying that's happening nowadays versus like the actual physical bullying.
I'm gonna
Right.
throw intellectual up with air quotes because there's a lot of people that
You're right.
I'm not even sure if it's the young people. I think it's more the older people that are going on Facebook and lighting people up and stuff like
Well,
that.
there is that
It
too.
is. It's
and
like-
hiding behind the curtain.
Yeah.
It's older people, and then it's their younger midwit army that fucking don't know anything anymore because they're all just out there. Dude, it's a bunch of little commie like.
Dude, they can get their serotonin for the day by just calling you a dumbass on the internet.
And most of
Yeah.
them have like
Over,
that they're autistic in their profile. Like it's like autistic,
OnlyFans detected. OnlyFans detected. What you're talking about is like OnlyFans detected, opinion rejected. As soon as you see that in your bio, it's like nothing you say will ever hold any weight ever.
Yeah, so with those OnlyFans, what I like to do when I'm scrolling,
subscribe to them first.
I'm scrolling.
Give
through,
them my bank account.
Scrolling through Instagram and stuff. I do like to go look at their profile just to see how much they're selling themselves for.
Yeah,
like
when you see like the $2.99 a month.
Yeah, like wow, you think you're worth $6.99? Like that's a little much.
And hit 'em with that. You think you're worth 2 gallons of gas?
This is another subject that we could get into on another episode as well. But how the whole OnlyFans thing and how women have kind of flocked to that now.
Yeah, feminism, dude.
What are you saying? I can't look at men's feet either.
I'm not saying that.
What I'm saying is,
are you buying?
It's very predominantly women.
$6.99, buddy.
Well, and it's becoming such a culture shift now too that you're starting to notice that
watch you smash
women are women are feeling women are saying that they're empowered because they have an OnlyFans.
That reflects badly on men just as badly though.
Like sure,
some men.
But at the same
you know what I mean?
I get it.
Because there's
enough that they're making these fucking whores millionaires.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Sorry for the rough language. It's just like you have no business having as much money.
You guys watch Sopranos?
Sorry, Colton. They are not whores. They are entrepreneurs.
All right, I'm going to interrupt you.
They're entrepreneurs.
Sopranos. Did you guys ever watch Sopranos?
Yeah.
You know,
I've seen a little bit of it. Yeah.
Oh God. Sopranos' nephew, Chris, the chick he's married, dating, or whatever. Oh God, what's her name?
Well, I don't know now.
But you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I don't remember.
I know what you're talking about. Oh. That was beautiful. Beautifully done.
Let's do a reboot. Oh, we don't have
Nope.
music?
No reboot.
No reboot.
Force reset.
No, I can't think of her name. But anyway, she just came out saying she made more in OnlyFans in a month than she made in her entirety of doing The Sopranos.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just like,
that's what I mean. It's like people that have
man.
no business having that much money have that much
Yeah.
money. Like I don't like really personally know that many of them, but there's a couple that I'm friends with just from like the past and like see them on Facebook and it's like, oh, you're an OnlyFans girl now. And it's like just traded in my Mercedes and got a new one. I'm like, you have no business having that much money.
No.
You
Yeah.
have no business.
no.
Well, when you're
Like
only,
not even like I'm mad that you have that much money. It's like
No, it's 'cause
really you're gonna
they have
sell
no
your
worth on this world.
You're just it's like you just sold your soul
their
for that.
booty holes.
At that, you see their Mercedes, you're like, damn, I really need to unsubscribe.
dude, I think here's what I think.
I can't support this.
Well,
I bought that bitch in E-Class!
well, here's what I think. Here's what Here's what I think. I think the whole empowerment thing, I think that's just, I get maybe this is common sense, but I think
beer.
it's, I think it is.
Can you really hate, though? It's like, why wouldn't you take advantage of that situation?
Yeah, but at the same time, the whole empowerment thing is just a way for them to justify doing it. You know what I mean?
You're not being empowered by objectifying yourself.
Right, exactly. They're just saying
Especially
that.
when that's been your argument for the last however long that you're objectifying women is degrading to them. It's like,
Yeah.
well, now you're objectifying
Exactly.
yourself, but you're
Yeah.
okay with it because it's
Yep.
making you money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely it. And
You sold your soul to
people
the
don't-
devil for a couple dollars.
well, and they don't, and
it's more
and-
than a couple $1,000s. But
Yeah. Well, and a lot of these women too, they're absolutely denying or not even refusing to think about their future after this because once it's
this is not going to go on forever.
Yeah. It's,
Well, you're online forever, but
you're
it's
gonna have a
it's also like
kid.
right.
But
Yeah,
you
you're not
think
going to
of-
be able to pull
go back
this
to,
income.
Go back to that person
Dude,
I said that.
there's
like they bought
already-
that Mercedes. It's like, are you not considering that you're not going to do this forever?
Exactly.
already
And you're
kids,
just like,
dude.
oh, I have this money. I'll spend it now on something that I want.
Yep.
They're starting
Yep.
kids by some of these people, and they're like getting bullied in school because the
Yeah.
other kids are
Oh,
finding
yeah.
like, I got your mom's OnlyFans. Here.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
like, your
hilarious to
mom's
me.
a whore.
Good. Bring back bullying. Good.
It
Yeah.
needs to
I
be
watch-
brought.
I-
Well,
yeah.
hey, maybe this is the pendulum.
I featured with your mom and I fucked her. I fucked your mom on her OnlyFans.
All right, let's bully each other
Now
right
the jokes aren't even. No,
It's
don't
time to
bully.
start
Don't
bullying
bully
right
me.
now.
I'll come.
I'm gonna bully you now.
That's actually my thing. I got a piece.
Oh, guess what? We don't kink shame around here.
Thank God.
Oh man, yeah, I definitely would like to do an episode on that.
What, kink shame?
No, about
I wouldn't mind kink shaming. That'd be a fun one.
yeah.
No, I don't kink shame.
Yeah, but that whole episode would turn into a whole like, but these kinks are okay, and then it'd turn into a whole bunch of weird shit. We'd learn a lot about each other.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. The only, if you want to say the only kink that I shame, pedophilia.
Oh, yeah, but that's not a kink. That's just a.
That's not a
Well,
kink.
no,
Yeah.
it is now. It is now. It's
No.
a kink.
No,
No.
it's only if you let it.
Yeah, it's only a kink if you
dude.
let it.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about
pedophiles-
amongst the American people. I feel like it's becoming commonality more than a taboo.
No, I think if anything is to reset this world, it'll have the millennial men will be outside and tearing, announced pedophiles, dragging them through the streets and like doing things like vigilante shit, to them,
Raping them?
if that's what it takes. I think
Want to
personally,
tag team someone, Zach?
like personally, dude, anybody that commits a crime against a child deserves like the most horrendous, heinous shit committed against them.
All right,
and then it should end with them dying.
So
Like, sorry,
My-
that's just how I feel.
I mean,
about
I
it.
would penetrate a pedophile.
my da-
with a 22.
my real quick before I forget about this, my dad has one of the best ways to torture a pedophile or a rapist for that matter. So his idea
You make them consent.
Yeah. No. His idea is so a rapist or a pedophile, what you do is you take them out into a shed out in the middle of nowhere. Nothing miles around. And you have a simple table where you can tie them to and a vice grip on the edge of the table. You put their balls in the vice grip and tighten it down, and then you leave a rusty butter knife right next to them. And then you light the shed on fire. And say, pick. Either you saw your junk off, or you sit here and burn alive.
What about if the pedophile is particularly crafty and they understand how a table vice works?
We didn't get that.
Damn it! Take the, no,
You welded. You welded, so it's
there you
locked.
go. There you go. Welded.
What if they're crafty
You get
and they know?
you get the idea
You know what?
behind
I'm honestly,
it.
I'm not chill with the butter knife because while it is dull, there is a serrated edge. I say you give them like
Yeah.
a spoon,
There you go.
Ooh.
Spoon. Yeah.
something that, or like
Like you really got to
something
do it. Like that's
you,
not got to
you
be
don't
all
give them,
you.
You don't give them a hatchet. You don't give them anything that'll get them
No.
through in one. You
No.
give them something that it's like if you want, you're gonna have to like
You're
gonna have to gnash
Yep.
and hit with it, but
Yep.
it won't cut good.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Or you take two welding rods and try to meet them as close as you can through the urethra and the
Yeah.
butthole.
No.
And the butthole.
Right in the gooch.
Like the pincher.
Make sure they're make sure they're unkempt, so there's a little bit of hair there. Really get that smell though.
Oh.
It don't come out. you never really get that smell out.
Oh,
Make sure
boy.
if you have furniture, it's leather at that point. You nothing cloth. That'll
No, that's
that'll
staining for sure, dude. You ain't getting that out at all.
We've gone so far off the rails on this one.
I can't wait to segue into Easter at this point. Let's see how much farther we can go.
you guys wanted to talk about today?
Well, that was
probably
one
better
of
that
the
we
things.
Let's not
I mean-
associate it with this stuff. Russian terrorist attacks, pedophiles,
But what
balls
exactly
and vice
you
grips.
brought up that we might talk about Easter because this episode would come out right before Easter.
So,
what
so
were
we
you
get to
wanting
say? I mean, the only thing I was going to bring up is that whole kind of classical thing of like, if I wanted to, it's the guy speaking from like the terms of an authoritarian. If I wanted to change this, I would do this. Change this society, I'd do this. But it was if I wanted to change, I would make Easter the only symbol people know, the egg.
Yeah.
And take out the cross.
Yeah, I think what you're talking about. He says if I were the devil.
Yeah, I think that's
would-
what it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep, it's
you're
all black
talking
and
about
white.
you're talking about the farmer. Oh, he does the God made a farmer monologue as well. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
If I were
yeah.
the devil, I
Yeah,
would.
yeah.
Yes, I know exactly the monologue you're talking about.
So that monologue kind of sticks with
Joey,
me.
can you find his name? I can't.
Well, it's
Paul Harvey.
Paul Harvey.
Yeah,
Paul Harvey,
okay,
yeah.
That's it.
Anyone
Do you want
that
me
can
to play it or not?
No, how long is it? It's like
3 minutes.
You can play like the first couple.
Yeah,
he says that's part relatively into it.
Yeah.
Urgency.
No free ads.
No free ads. Not a sponsor.
Especially when we don't have a sponsor. Why would I sponsor these people?
Right.
John here with Athlean X.
Tough Acted and Acted.
Kyle here with Preparation H.
My butthole feels so much better.
If I were the Prince of Darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness. And I'd have 1/3 of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States.
Yeah.
I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please.
Yeah.
To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington.
Ooh.
And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology.
Notice it took him like 4
I would lure
to even
priests
realize
and
what was
pastors
happening.
into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil...
He didn't even. He doesn't even react. He's just like, I don't understand. He's like, it sounds like I'm at home right now.
No, I keep my shit unplugged. I ain't dealing with that. Don't tell my landlord.
Oh, crap.
No, they're talking about Easter. If you wanted to.
Easter.
Not the guy to ask about it.
Well,
however, he is the anatomically correct Jesus Christ.
Gang, gang, nigga.
Anatomically?
Black.
That was Mike, our resident black man, who said that. By the way,
It's funny. I had this weird thing about Easter when I was little because I always remembered them saying he rose from the dead. I thought these bitches were saying he roasted from the dead. So I thought this motherfucker came out of that cave looking like a fucking honey roasted peanut. No, I was dead wrong when I went to CCD and I went to Sunday school.
I was waiting for a fried chicken joke. I'm gonna be honest.
No,
I know it's a little on the nose, but I thought
it's fair enough. My mom's cousin was a
13
priest.
herbs and spices and all that.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Shit.
Mike's like, I'm hungry now.
You think? That's why...
We're going so far off the rails here.
You should have, when I said we didn't talk about Easter yet, I really was trying to make a joke. I didn't think you'd actually transition into talking about Easter.
I didn't think we were
this
going
episode.
to either. Yeah. It's
Well,
like, here we are.
The direction at the front of this episode, I'm like, no way they talk about Easter on this episode.
Got you. Like nobody's listening at this point, but it doesn't matter. We're still talking about it, aren't we?
Oh, man.
No.
Oh, man. Oh, Mike, you brought the claw. No laws, baby.
No laws when you're drinking claws. White flour.
Those things
Graduate.
fuck me up, man.
Yeah, oh yeah, they'll sneak up on you.
It's just the worst
yeah.
hangover ever, too, if you get too fucked up on them.
Well,
Which
that's
I
if
thought
you're
is
bitch
weird
made.
because they're seltzer
You
water.
can't tell Mike that. He used to drink like a 5th of Jameson a day.
No, I used to drink a full bottle of Jameson.
Yeah, a 5th of Jameson.
Oh,
Not a 5th of a bottle of
yeah, my
Jameson, a
bad.
5th.
My bad.
Whoopsie. Which I don't even know. How do they get the 5th out of that? Why do they call it? Why do they call it a 5th?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
No idea.
I've always called
Well,
it.
it's just like having 3/5.
Oh.
Yes, Mike telling us elaborate on that joke.
It's real funny, Joey.
He thought it was good. I saw the smile on his face.
That's real confident for somebody wearing fucking fuzzy slippers right now. And what the fuck kind of pants are those? You look like you're dressed up like Buddy the Elf's comfy gay cousin.
I don't really want to say it in the mic, but I said the word earlier on the podcast when you guys.
Well,
I want to hear what he said.
No, I was like,
Yeah, so I was being.
maybe if you could find it. If not, it was very subtle and very quiet, and I was like, I like realized it when I said like, I'm not on the Discord right now. I gotta, I was like, I gotta chill. You just like insert him like, yeah, he's one of those. And Mike says it.
That would be completely out of context too, so that way it's like
One
not
of
out of context,
the
but
very
just completely
deliberate
different
edits, like it's
tone.
my
Right,
voice.
right,
You just
yeah.
get like the So then I said,
nigga.
I wasn't expecting that voice, but all right, we'll take
Well,
it.
it's got to be different.
That was Mike, the black man, who said that. By the way,
Buttons.
No,
one
I
this
through
is
man.
by the way, Mike.
so
This
yeah.
isn't our podcast. This is their podcast.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
came in hot.
I get no trigger warnings. All right. I've said slavery jokes. I've said the N word. Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Save it for save it for ours. Save it for ours.
It's all right. People stop listening about an hour in for us.
yeah,
You're good.
yeah.
And I was stereotypically late. My bad.
That's all right. Hey, he's also black too then.
Woo.
Oh, did I cross the fucking line? Go fuck yourselves. Go fuck yourselves.
I don't know you like that.
Come on, man. We
It's
cool.
your podcast.
Also a
Welcome
veteran
to the
though.
podcast.
Also a veteran though.
Okay. Yeah, no.
Oh,
Oh, you're a
boy.
veteran. What are you?
Army.
Army. Also gay.
I thought that was the
It didn't
Navy.
matter what he said.
That was the Navy. It doesn't matter what you said. What branch were you in? It doesn't matter what branch you were in.
Yeah, as long as we're not Navy, dude. I don't.
Yeah.
No, that's actually.
That's actually gay.
Yeah.
Although you guys were really close to him, so
How do you think we know?
exactly.
We're bi. They're gay.
I heat cased on purpose, if you know what I'm saying.
See what I want to shove up your ass if you heat case? I'm like,
Those silver
I'm like
bullets.
over here wearing like a garbage bag and like running in place. Oh no, Doc!
into a
Doc, I see stars. I feel dizzy.
Doc, I'm gonna get that silver bullet, and I don't mean a Coors Light.
You need something to drink. Oh, you brought something to drink. What am I saying?
Well, on that note, Kyle, I think we've gone off the rails enough about Easter.
I'm sorry we ruined your guys'
No, you're
episode.
good. You're good. This is
It's
fun.
ruined.
It's not ruined.
This is great.
Listen, this is way off topic for what you guys usually do. So,
That's fine. That's honestly that's fine.
but it's been fun.
yeah.
Fun is
that's-
good.
Yeah, exactly. And we still got to talk about some hot button
Yeah.
topics. So,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
we're still good.
I would say.
But well, let's get into our ending sequence here we have at every episode. What are we drinking?
Sounds good. So I am drinking a 2-woman lager. So are you, because
Yeah.
that's what you bought today.
Yeah.
New Glarus, like always, that we normally fucking drink. I think we've even had 2 women before.
Yeah. Oh, we have.
But it's a great lager. Great beer.
well, I
I'm
think
gonna call Cap.
Yeah,
How
no,
many
you haven't.
threesomes you guys been
You
in?
guys are lying.
one of the well,
I'm gonna stop you right there.
We're all looking over here like this is bullshit.
we always have New Glarus for some
Yeah.
reason, but I think the biggest reason that we have New Glarus all the time is because it's one of the easier ones to find that actually has different stuff. You know?
That's true.
Especially
it's not just
around
like,
here.
oh yeah, it's Voodoo Ranger. It's like so they all taste like grass.
Yeah, but if you go down, to Illinois, it's more like Goose Island stuff where they have more variety of stuff.
Don't give Illinois anything, dude. They don't.
No,
You
what,
say
They
Goose
have
Island's
Goose
good?
Island like
I think I've
312.
only
and
had.
that's-
What I'm
I
saying
think
is-
the only thing I've ever had from Goose Island was an IPA, and that completely ruined it for me.
yeah, try the 312.
Yeah.
That one was
312's
good.
And the Buffalo Wild Wings. I think the local brewery is.
No way.
Goose
You
Island.
did you just refer to Buffalo Wild Wings as a local brewery?
The local brewery they
He's just
use
drinking
is
straight garlic parmesan
Oh, they do
sauce.
use Goose
for
Island.
their wild herd or whatever the fuck.
I'd
they
like
call
a
it.
desert sun.
Wild Herd
desert sun
Kolsch,
lager.
I think. Or
Yeah.
is it Kolsch?
It's their bird.
Yeah.
Their freaking their beer.
Goose Island is the one that
Okay, I see what you're
distributes
saying, I see
for
what you're
them.
It's their beer, but they, whatever locations they're at, it's in a local brewery.
Oh, sure. Like the Buffalo Wild Wings up by me definitely has New Glarus.
It's probably a New Glarus or something different. Yeah,
sure.
What are you guys drinking? You guys are guests. What do you guys?
Well, I've been drinking Coors Light the entire time, but I've switched to a White Claw Black Cherry. My favorite White Claw flavor.
Black cherry.
Black cherry. That's like
I think
my
for some reason.
least.
For some reason, this is the
favorite.
one that I could tell. Like, it's the one I've always thought has the most flavor, which is why I like it more. I think that's the only reason. It's like it has the most flavor to me, so I'm like, all right, that's my favorite one.
Okay.
The rest of them, I'm like, they're all right, but this one I can actually taste, so I like this one.
But Zach just said that's your least favorite.
Black cherry. Oh yeah.
No way.
So what's your
Absolutely
favorite White Claw?
No way. Watch him name lemon lime or some shit.
No. I think the mango was probably my favorite. I haven't had a White Claw to be perfectly fair.
Favorite Jewel Pod mango.
Oh, dude, give it back! I can't believe they banned those. Can you believe
banned?
that you can get a Jewel in tobacco or menthol flavor only now? You can't get the mango.
Who in
You
the
can't
hell
get the
is
bear.
getting tobacco flavored?
I use
People who-
fiends.
Jewel.
Absolute
I used to
fiends.
for a little while.
That's who. What?
What's that?
People who are going to kill themselves.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, give me the brown pod.
They're smoking a Jewel because they actually want to change their life for the better. And you know what? Fuck them. They're not doing it for the fun.
I was doing it for the fun. I was doing it for the love of the game.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
For the clouds, right?
Fuck it. We
You
balled.
blow the cloud and then you shake it and you get the little rainbow light display. You're like,
you get the first thing in the morning, you just reach over, you grab that Jewel Pod, and you hear that crackle. Oh.
that's probably the best
Dude,
thing about
that
quitting
nuts.
it. Dude, I always was like, man, I feel like I vape way more than I used to smoke cigarettes. And I used to smoke 2 packs a day.
Yeah.
But I could vape inside, baby.
Yeah.
6
Yeah.
inside.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you wake up, you don't even have to get dressed to go outside. You just, oh, it's on my nightstand. My alarm's still going off, but that's the first thing. That's the first thing I'm worried about is getting a hit off the Jewel, dude. Oh my god, they had us locked in.
Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
sir.
Locked in
What do
and
you-
then gave you popcorn lung.
Yeah,
That'll buff out.
Never hit that, but thank God.
that'll buff out.
That'll buff.
What flavor are you drinking over there, Mike?
Oh, I got the natural lime because I wanted something with no flavor. Yeah.
Oh,
Black
correction.
Mike.
His
Oh,
name's
okay.
Black Mike.
Mike wants to
Okay.
kill
Zach,
those
get it
ones
right.
right away so that he can enjoy the good ones
Mike. Yeah.
later.
Exactly.
I
Fair
get you.
enough.
That's
Fair
a
enough.
good strategy.
Yeah.
I usually do the opposite. I drink my favorite ones right
Yeah.
away, and then I don't care what I'm drinking after.
Yeah, I
that.
want to taste
That's
at my
true, too.
most soberest peak. You know, I want to be able to. Have
It's
the
like,
good
dude, I drink a
flavor.
lot of Busch.
Afterwards.
I drink a lot of Busch Light.
Busch lattes, yes, sir.
But
latte.
by the time I hit 6, I don't care what I'm drinking. Hand me a Natter Day. I don't care. Yeah, no, it's not talk shit. I do love the Natter Days. I
Like
do.
I don't know. There is a line. I'm never gonna pick up a Milwaukee's Best. I don't think that's ever happening again.
We'll never make that mistake again.
No, sir.
Yeah,
We crushed a lot of 30 racks in Milwaukee's Worst back in the barracks in 2-9.
It's a very affordable drunk.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
I think we got.
Do you remember
drunk
we
for
get the
75
bomber?
cents.
You remember we get the bomber cans of Ice House?
Oh, Ice House.
Talk about your poor without talking
Oh
about
my
your
God.
poor. Like
Yeah.
seriously,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Ugh,
We
Ice
bought some
House.
40s once and the ice house broke, and we're like, oh no.
You're not even mad. Oh
yeah,
no,
it's like, oh, no.
60 cents wasted.
Not even mad.
All
All
right,
right, man. Well,
Joey,
great.
what are you drinking?
Oh, yep.
Yeah,
Joey
what's-
is drinking today.
I drank some of the Two Women. Always fond of that one, obviously for obvious reasons. Then I went to Coors, and now I'm drinking because Mike brought some White Claws. I'm drinking the pineapple one because I mean, pineapple tropical. It's perfect. It fucking makes
Pineapple.
sense.
Did I miss something? Is there a pineapple White Claw?
Yeah, the one that I'm drinking.
new.
Oh.
It's new.
Oh, you better save one
I
of
didn't
those
even know
for
that,
me.
but
Well, they have that one.
He's
that
like,
we've
I already
been
rubbed
drinking,
I already rubbed the face of my
the
penis across
carbless. They
all
have
of it.
a pineapple.
yeah,
Right?
they have a pineapple one. Yeah, I probably like the carbless pineapple more.
Well,
Yeah.
carbless isn't a seltzer though.
no,
That's
that's
vodka,
correct.
yeah.
It's a vodka.
Well,
It's got a
vodka
lot
or
more
tequila.
flavor. It's a lot
or
sweeter.
tequila, yeah, but the carbless bangs.
Now
Now I said to
senses
myself,
himself after an hour and a half
my
of
God,
dropping
everybody
the
just
F-bomb.
dropped
You
it
meant to say
left and right.
fucks.
Yeah.
Let's correct him.
Mike,
No,
since
he
you're
just
here,
had a stroke.
Mike, since you're here, give me a solid N bomb.
Nigger.
Oh, whoa, hard R and all.
Thanks for that. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, your face is redder than that wall
I
right now. You all right
appreciate
there?
He's never heard somebody.
YouTube is gonna pull this guy. Well, we've already.
YouTube, you guys go.
Oh, we've got.
Shit, they got nuked.
YouTube
Oh
does
yeah,
not like.
twice. We've gotten 2 episodes pulled off of YouTube.
So we'll test it again. Apparently, Bill Gates, they suck his cock.
I think that might be worse than saying
Joey's
the N-word.
got the coronavirus. Oh,
Is it? I thought everybody was sucking cocks. It's okay.
It's 2024, dude. Everyone's doing it.
2024.
All right, who's not? We're gonna play next. We're gonna play Who's My Mouth. Eddie, you go first. Then Joey. Then you. And then you.
Wait, first is in I'm in someone's mouth, or first is everyone's in my mouth?
You
Well,
pick.
that's the great.
Yeah, I get to pick. Thank God. Let me go get my blindfold.
Don't forget the knee pads. I got an extra pair in the car.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap up the episode here.
It's like everyone shut the fuck up. We're done.
No, honestly, thanks for coming on, Colton. Thanks for contributing, Joey, Mike.
Assalamualaikum.
This has been.
Sorry, that's Black Mike, by the way.
Black Mike.
Sorry, Black Mike.
We need the audience to know he's black, so that when they hear the N-word
Got it.
drop-
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So, but yeah, thanks for contributing. It was a little bit of a different episode, but that's all right. We had some fun with it, and not everyone's going to be, something that's so dark and, serious. We had some fun today, so let us know what you thought of it.
You should probably record a disclaimer for the beginning of this episode. Like, just a heads up.
Maybe we'll
if
do
you're
that.
looking for our normal content, don't.
Yeah, well, we'll put it in the
Viewer
description.
discretion is
They'll
advised.
figure it out. They'll figure it
So-
out.
We'll get there.
All right. Well, we'll catch you guys on the next one then.
Later.
صليل الصوارم نشيد الأباء ودرب القتال